Yeah, now let's work out with another important area for the large infrastructure projects, which is something to do with the depreciation. And just to understand, depreciation is more of allocation of the costs over the period of usage. So how can I allocate the cost of, let's say my project was costing close to, how much was the cost of our project? Our project was costing close to 121 crores during the construction period. So for this 121 crores, probably I would have used, out of this 121 crores, probably we are breaking this 121 crores across the various assets, right? Or probably I may not look at this entire 121 crores, or probably, yeah, the entire 121 crores in the initial years, which is the total cost of the project. Let's say I am allocating it over the remaining 31 years of the project, right? I am allocating over the remaining 31 years of project based on some basis. And what is the basis? If I go down, we have made a few assumptions regarding our assets. We have made that our assets are primarily relating to building and civil works, which constitute 80% of the total assets, and probably furnitures and fixtures, which will be composed of 10% of the total assets, and plant and machinery the remaining 10%. Whatever are the assets, I am assuming that they are split, let's say, in this particular proportion. So the depreciation also, whatever I would like to do, whatever I have capitalized, all those costs I have capitalized, which means I would typically allocate those costs over the remaining years of the asset, over the remaining years of the usage of the asset. So the way I would like to look at is, I'll create another new sheet called as the depreciation sheet, right? This is my depreciation sheet, and a few things will be common, as we have done even in case of any of the earlier things. This part I'll take it common. If this is blank, treat it as blank, otherwise fill it with this value. So this portion will be the same across, and probably this is not required. I will drag this up to this AZ. The same logic which we have extended it, which we have did earlier, will perform the same kind of a scenario here. Now that we are talking about depreciation, which is the allocation of our cost. So now that in our assumptions we made that primarily our assets are divided across these three elements: building and civil works, furniture and fixtures, plant and machinery. In some of the cases, we may have a slightly different set of the assets, whatever it is, right? So I may talk about here a straight line depreciation. How do I differentiate it? We have two forms of depreciation. One, I'm looking at a straight line depreciation, as in this, as I have listed out here, and I'm also interested in written down value. Why? These two types of depreciations are very much required for almost all kinds of projects. The reason is when I am preparing a P&L statement from the financial reporting standpoint, I'll use a straight line depreciation method. But when I am preparing a financial statement from the tax reporting standpoint, I have to use the written down value based depreciation. So, in a simple scenario, the written down value based depreciation will depreciate the asset much faster compared to the straight line depreciation method. And in a straight line depreciation method, the allocation is uniform across all the years of the project of the asset. Whereas in a written down value, we allocate more depreciation in the initial years, whereas the depreciation keeps going down in the later years. So we'll just try to understand how we model this depreciation for these three kind of securities or these three kind of assets. The way I would like to look at it is, I know that their worth is split, so my total cost of the project I would split in the ratio of this. So what I could do is, in my construction itself, I could create a breakup. I will create another area called breakup of assets, wherein now that I know that I have three types of assets, I'll pull them from here itself: building and civil works, and if I drag a little bit down, I have furnitures and fixtures and plant and machinery. So what I'll do is, I'll take my total project cost and multiply it with this. So my building and civil works is around 96.6 crores. The furniture and fixture is worth somewhere around 12.